Hello student, welcome to biology class. Hope you all are well today. In previous lecture, we already discussed about anatomy and physiology of human respiratory system. Today in this video, we will discuss about the mechanism of respiration. In mechanism of respiration, first we will study in detail the breathing process, external respiration and lungs volumes. Before studying the breathing in detail, we'll see first the similarities between breathing and respiration. The breathing and respiration involve the same components. They are oxygen and carbon dioxide. Both the processes are extremely important for survival. Breathing brings raw material for the respiration and remove the waste of respiration. Hence, they are interconnected processes. Both the processes utilize energy. These processes are related to the respiratory system. Further, they are dependent on each other. Breathing is a physical process by which the gases exchange takes place between the atmosphere and lungs. Breathing process is also called as a pulmonary ventilation. Pulmonary ventilation, it is of two types: quiet pulmonary ventilation and deep pulmonary ventilation. The quiet pulmonary ventilation, it is a normal respiration process. During this, oxygen level, it is normal and it is fine. Deep pulmonary ventilation, it is required when body demands more oxygen at the time of exercise or at the time of running. Body need more energy, and this energy, it is produced from organic compounds. To burn these organic compounds, body demands more oxygen, and hence through mouth air is inhaled. Such breathing, it is called as deep breathing. Breathing involves two processes: inspiration and expiration. The one inspiration and one expiration is one breath. Inspiration and expiration, these two processes are the cyclic processes in the breathing. They occur one after another. How they complete? To understand this process, we should first understand the Boyle's law. The Boyle's law states that the pressure of fixed mass of a gas is inversely proportional to its volume. Means, when the volume increases, pressure decreases, and when volume decreases, pressure increases. This law is applicable for this inspiration as well as for the expiration process. During the inspiration, our chest grows slightly. That's why here the volume of this chest, it is increased. As the volume increases, here decrease of pressure in the chest, and so the air flow inside the lungs. During the expiration, the volume of the chest decreases, lungs get contracted, volume of the air in the lung decreases, and the pressure increases, and that's why the air present in the lungs, it is pushed off from the body to surrounding. Breathing process is under the control of thoracic cage, intercostal muscle and the diaphragm. In 11th standard, we are learn about the thoracic cage. Thoracic cage is also called as the rib cage. It is formed by the 12 pairs of the ribs and the sternum bone. The ribs are attached posteriorly to thoracic vertebrae. Anteriorly, they are connected to sternum bone or the chest bone. The sternum bone is also called as the breastbone. It is a flat bone and it provides the space for the attachment of the ribs. In thoracic cage, there are 12 pairs of ribs are there. Out of that, the last two pairs, that is the pair number 11 and the 12, they are the floating ribs. They are important during the inspiration as well as the expiration, as they reduce or they increase the thoracic cavity. The muscles which is present between the ribs are called intercostal muscle. Inter means between and the costa means ribs. Between the ribs, the muscle layers which is present, it is called as intercostal muscle. There are two sets of the intercostal muscle. One, external intercostal muscle, which is used during the process of inspiration, and internal intercostal muscle, it is used during the expiration process. Diaphragm is an important organ in the process of breathing. Diaphragm, it is a muscular partition which is present between thoracic cavity and abdominal cavity. Student, inspiration is one of the part of breathing process. It is also called inhalation. During this process, atmospheric air, it is entered into the lungs. To complete this process, body needs energy. So, this process, it is the active process. Let us see the process of inspiration. To understand the inspiration process, look at the figure. In inspiration, the air is taken inside the lungs. To complete this process, external intercostal muscles are responsible. They contract and they pull the rib cage upwardly as well as the outwardly. The diaphragm muscles, they also get contracted and it moves the downwardly. Here diaphragm, it becomes the flat and which is also responsible for increase of thoracic cavity. Increase in thoracic cavity means the volume of the thoracic cavity, it is increases. As the volume increases, the pressure in the thoracic cavity, it is decreases, and that decrease, it is below atmospheric pressure. As the pressure is the low inside the lungs than the outside, here airflow from high pressure towards the low pressure, and that's why the process of inspiration, it is complete. Expiration, it is the process in which air is released from the lungs. It is a passive process. In expiration, the size of the thoracic cavity, it is decreased. The intercostal muscles present between the ribs, they get contracted. Because of the contraction of these muscles, the rib cage which is lifted up in the process of inspiration is get depressed downwardly as well as inwardly. At the same time, the diaphragm muscles, they get relaxed and become the dome shaped. Because of that, here the thoracic cavity volume, it is decreased. Lungs get contracted and the volume of the lungs is also get decreased. So the pressure inside the lungs, it is more than the atmospheric pressure. Here airflow from the high pressure towards the low pressure. The pressure in the lungs, it is high, and outside the atmosphere the air pressure is the low, and that's why from the high pressure towards the low pressure the flow of air is there, and that process, it is the expiration, which is completed because of intercostal muscles and the dome shaped diaphragm. Alveoli or alveolus, it is a functional unit of lung. During the inspiration, air is rich into the alveolus. Alveolus, it is a site of exchange of the gases. The gases, they get exchanged with the blood. Between the alveoli and the blood, the gases exchange it takes place by process of diffusion. This exchange of the gases, it is called as external respiration. To understand this external respiration, we should know about the partial pressure, because this diffusion process, it depends upon the partial pressure. The gases, they get diffused from higher partial pressure towards the low partial pressure. So what is this partial pressure? The gas or the air, it is a mixture of different gases. Air, it is the mixture of the different gases. Every gas present in the air, it exerts a pressure, and this pressure, it is called as the partial pressure of that gas. In the air, the oxygen is there, carbon dioxide is there, nitrogen is there, and other different gases are there. So every gas, it exerts a pressure, and that pressure, it is the partial pressure of that gas. We'll see about the atmospheric pressure. What is the atmospheric pressure? The atmospheric pressure, it is the pressure exerted at the sea level. So the atmospheric pressure, it is also considered as the average sea level pressure. It is about 760 mmHg. We should know about here the pressure which is present inside the alveoli also. The pressure present inside the alveoli, it is the intrapulmonary pressure. And this different pressure, it is responsible for the diffusion of the gases from the alveoli to blood. Student, in previous video, we have learned about the pleural membrane. Pleural membranes, these are the membrane present around the lungs. They are separated by a cavity called as a pleural cavity. The pleural cavity, it maintains a pressure. That pressure, it is called as intrapleural pressure. This intrapleural pressure has equally importance in the process of respiration. That maintain the pressure of the thoracic cavity and the lungs. They keep the lungs inflated in each cycle of ventilation. In expiration, lungs shrink. The shrink lungs again in inflated condition. In the next cycle of breathing, it is because of negative pressure present in pleural cavity. This can be maintained by thoracic wall as well as the elastic tissue present outside the lungs. Thoracic wall, it moves away from the elastic layer of the lungs, and the elastic layer of the lungs, they are going away from the thoracic wall, which create volume in the pleural membrane, and this increased volume in pleural membrane, it decreases the pressure in the pleural cavity. The decreased pressure or the negative pressure, it keeps the lungs in inflated condition. When this pressure it is increased, during that time the lungs, they remain shrink. Student, in thoracic cavity, in between the lungs, one more organ is present, and that is the heart. The heart, it collects the blood from all over the body. The collected blood, it's sent to the lungs for the purification with the help of blood vessels called as the pulmonary blood vessels. These pulmonary blood vessels, they divide, de-divide, and it gives the fine branching structure called as the capillaries. These capillaries, it form a network around the alveoli for the exchange of the gases. The alveoli, the functional unit of lungs. The wall of the alveoli, it is made up of simple squamous epithelium. The cells are thin and all are based on basement membrane. Around this alveoli, the network of capillaries is there. The wall of capillary, it is also made up of simple squamous epithelium. Both the structures, they are closed, they are thin, and play important role in the exchange of the gases. Hence, together it is it is known as respiratory membrane. Student, we know that air is a mixture of the gases. In air, the various different gases are present. The fresh air, during the inspiration, it reaches into the alveoli. In alveoli, oxygen and the carbon dioxide gases are present. In fresh air, the oxygen percentage is more and CO2 percentage is less. Every gas, it exerts a pressure, and that pressure it is called as partial pressure of that gas. As here the oxygen it is more in the fresh air, its pressure is more in alveoli, while the CO2 compared to the oxygen it is a less and it has a low partial pressure in the alveoli. Against that, here the blood capillaries are present. In blood capillaries also, here these gases are present. Partial pressure of oxygen in the blood capillary, it is 40 mmHg, while the CO2, it is about 45 mmHg. Because of difference in the partial pressure of alveoli and the blood capillaries, the diffusion of the gases, it is seen in the external respiration. During this, the CO2 from the blood capillary, it enter into the alveoli, while oxygen from the alveoli, it enter into the blood capillaries. Student, we know in our body the different metabolic activities are going on, and for that purpose, energy is required. Here, to generate the energy, oxygen is continuously it is used, and that's why in the blood the oxygen level it is decreased. Hence, the partial pressure of the oxygen it is low and it is about 40 mmHg. So the blood entering in the pulmonary capillary is having partial pressure, it is about 40 mmHg, while in the alveoli, the fresh air which have the more oxygen, and that's why its partial pressure it is about 100 mmHg. So this difference in the partial pressure is responsible for the diffusion of the oxygen from the alveoli into the blood. So the blood which is living from the alveoli has equal partial pressure as that of the alveoli. In different metabolic activity, the carbon dioxide is a waste product it is produced. So the concentration of the carbon dioxide it is more in the blood, and that's why the partial pressure of the carbon dioxide it is more in the blood as that of the alveoli, in which the fresh air is present, and in the fresh air the CO2 level it is the less, and that's why in the alveoli the partial pressure it is a low, while in the blood the partial pressure is a high. This difference in the gradient of partial pressure here from the blood capillaries, the CO2 get diffused into the alveoli and the process of diffusion it is complete. In this part of the video, we'll learn about the lungs volume. In that first, we'll see about the tidal volume. It is the volume of the air which is inspired or expired during the normal breathing or during the quiet breathing. In healthy young human, it is about 500 ml. The average adult, when it is resting, that time it inhale or exhale about 7 to 8 liters of air per minute. The total about 11,000 liters of the air it is inhaled as well as exhaled per day. The next lung volume is dead space. Student, look at the figure. We know that the air enters from the nose and it reaches to the terminal bronchioles. But all the terminal bronchioles, it is not in contact with the network of blood capillaries. Those are in contact with the blood capillaries, there the gaseous exchange is seen. While those terminal bronchioles, though are not in contact, there is no process of exchange of the gases, and hence the air it remains there. Though the amount of air remains there, it is about 150 ml. The next lung volume is the residual volume. It is the volume of the air that remain in the lung as well as in the dead space even after the maximum expiration. That volume of air, it is called as a residual volume, and it is about 1100 to 1200 ml. Student, the pranayam is the good breathing exercise. In this, air is inhaled forcefully. About 200 to 300 ml of air it is taken. This is the maximum capacity of our lung. This capacity, it is called as inspiratory reserve volume, or it is also called IVR. It is a more than tidal volume. The tidal volume, it is just 500 ml. Same way, during the forceful expiration, the volume of the air released is about 1000 to 1100 ml, which is also more than the normal expiration. It is known as expiratory reserve volume, or it is ERV. Total lung capacity. The maximum amount of air that lung can hold after the maximum forceful inspiration is the total lung capacity. It is about 5200 ml to 5800 ml. This lung capacity can be improved by workout for about 5 to 15%. The vital capacity, it is the maximum amount of the air that can be breathed out after the maximum inspiration. It is the total of tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume and expiratory reserve volume. This volume is about 4100 ml to 4600 ml. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for further videos. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe this video. Thank you.